do for just a moment with you. It's all I really need. When the light's shining through, all I see is you. It's all I really need. Just a moment with you. Just a moment with you. It's all I really need. Just a moment with you.
What's going on, YouTube? Mr. Flip coming at you with a tabletop review. A battle between two companies, Ion versus Gopro. Now, a lot of you guys knew throughout my videos, I supported the Ion company tremendously and stated that I would never go Gopro. However, I was blessed with the opportunity to do a product review on the GoPro Hero Session 4, and I am literally blown away with this action camera. However, I still do admire the Ion AIRPRO for many reasons, and we'll be going over those reasons here shortly. I'll be laying out pros and cons. I will not be doing the actual comparison of video footage together too tremendously. I'll give you guys some video footage with the same settings, but a lot of people, they try to lay out videos like that where you do a video comparison, but when you get onto your editing program, you are rendering that video under the same type of settings, so you really don't get too much of the difference between the cameras. However, I will be laying out which camera I think records the best, which one has the best sound, etc, etc. Now, you guys can tell the difference between diameters of these cameras. GoPro Hero Session 4 definitely blows the Ion AIRPRO Lite out of the water, with the size being as small as it is, the cube. Pretty much, you know, just your standard cube size. Record time is approximately 2 hours plus. You get about I forget what we had. We actually let the GoPro Hero Session 4 record fully and actually timed it, and we got about 2 hours and 10 minutes record time. The AIRPRO Lite, I've actually got in about close to 2.5 hours record time. However, battery life within the Ion AIRPRO Lite tends to drain out throughout more use. Now, I have not had the opportunity to use the GoPro Hero Session 4 a tremendous amount as I've done the Ion, but regardless, if you have an internal battery that is not interchangeable, those batteries do tend to drain out on you and tend to not hold charge throughout a long period of time. I live in a hot desert area, and when I have my cameras in my car or when I'm out recording, batteries do tend to drain faster in heat, or they can become issued within very cold situations such as snow, etc, etc. It all depends on the type of batteries that are inside. But as I stated, 2 hours and approximately 10 minutes or so on the GoPro Hero Session 4, 2.5 hours close to in the Ion AIRPRO Lite. Pretty close with battery life. For charging the units, I want to basically say charging the units is almost exactly the same time. However, with the Ion AIRPRO Lite, I am able to use my fast charger, which I use for my Samsung cell phone, which is basically a fast charger for the phone. I'm able to use that on the Ion AIRPRO Lite and charge the Ion AIRPRO Lite a lot faster. Now, is it good for the battery? Probably not. Probably why I have been seeing a little bit of a defect within the battery life on the AIRPRO Lite, but not by much. GoPro actually has a different type of charging USB connection, so you cannot use your standard cell phone chargers or what have you. As I stated within diameter, the GoPro Hero Session 4 definitely kicks the Ion AIRPRO in the butt due to the size. I've actually gotten used to the Ion AIRPRO Lite on a chesty, and I have had issues where I've knocked my camera off into the water while I was fishing, or when you go diving, if your chest is close to the bottom of the floor while you're swimming, you do tend to bump your camera a lot on the ground as such. And I'll also go over an issue with the Ion AIRPRO Lite if that tends to happen. The GoPro Hero Session 4 is very compact, basically hugs your chest on a chesty strap or whatnot, or also even on a head strap. It's less noticeable and it actually feels more comfortable and more concealed to your body than the Ion AIRPRO Lite. So GoPro definitely wins that over the Ion. Now, what I was talking about on the Ion, about bumping your camera too much. On the bottom of your Ion here, as you can see, I have this strip here. I'll actually take it off. I was fortunate enough to get this to actually stay on without causing damage, but this is the kind of strap that I'm actually using now. I actually have one of this camera going through warranty right now because the insert of the Ion AIRPRO Lite is plastic, and the more you bump that camera and it comes loose on your chesty or your head strap, the more this plastic in the inside will tend to strip out on you. The next thing you know, you have a camera that is not useful to you. It's basically becomes useless. You will not be able to mount the camera. As I stated, I was able to get a little bit of glue within this area here and get this strap somewhat back on, but it is not secure, which is why you can see I'm using now a lanyard on the camera just in case that camera tends to fall off. I have that lanyard there to keep me from losing my camera. GoPro, their chesties are kind of pricey, but the mounting system that you have on these cameras are legit, and you don't have to worry about stripping out any kind of items within on your camera. GoPro did make an upgrade on their newer cameras, which is the Ion AIRPRO Lite 3, and I believe some of their other upgraded cameras to where the inside of that insert is actually metal. So it's like a metal insert like how you would have on your standard cameras. The actual recording system on these cameras are very simple. They are both one push buttons. That's one big reason I really compare these cameras together, is because the functioning of the cameras are very much alike. Now, the Ion AIRPRO Lite does not have any type of screen that you can use to see your battery life or anything in that matter. You cannot change any settings or anything within the system, but it does have a Wi-Fi pod that you can connect to the back of the camera, which allows you to use your mobile device to change settings. Same as the GoPro, except for you do have a small LCD screen which gives you some options to be able to change settings, see battery life, etc., etc. But you can also connect your GoPro Hero Session 4 to your mobile device and change settings or watch the videos that you have already recorded. Now, jumping into the actual recording one button system, GoPro Hero Session has a small button on the top. All you have to do is push it once and you are recording. Ion AIRPRO has a push button on the top. Instead of pushing down though, you will push forward on this button and it'll start recording. Both recording times is approximately about the same. Within a few second delays, you'll get the recording going. So we'll start it at the same time here. There we go. So there you have it. Both cameras are now recording. The Ion AIRPRO does shut off a little bit faster. But one thing, well, the Ion will stop the recording, but the system will not shut off until whatever you have the setting as. So that is one issue that you can have, but however, you can push this button down here and it'll shut the system off completely, just like that. So to stop recording, you push the button up and then you hold the button here down and it'll shut your system off, or you can just leave it and it'll just, the system will stay on but the recording will stop, and the system will shut down at whatever setting you set it to. I believe it's 1 minute to 4 minutes. So both record time is about approximately the same, few seconds. Once you push the button, then it starts recording. So not too much of a difference on comparisons there. However, one thing I do love about the session is that the system shuts off completely on its own. You don't have to wait that extra minute or so, or shut the camera off and hold the button down. More comparisons to this. Basically, everything is similar in the back. I'll show you guys here. The SD cards, they do take different types of SD cards. You have an AV connection on the back of the Ion. Then you have the HDMI connection. You have a reset button. Then you have the USB. Then you can change your settings here to an FHD or an HD. That's the only way you can change your settings without going on your mobile device. Then you have your SD slot. You notice there's a giant hole connection on the bottom. That's where you would plug in your Wi-Fi pod. I do have to admit, when you run the Wi-Fi pod on your Ions, they do drain the battery tremendously, super fast. GoPro Hero Session, all you do here is pull this little lever and the back of it pops, or the side of it pops open there. You have an SD slot so you can carry an extra SD card, which you really don't need, because by the time your battery dies, your SD card, you still got plenty of memory on your SD card. Then you just got your USB connection here to plug into your laptop or however you're going to charge your system, and then you have the USB or your slot for your chip. Oh wow, your micro SD card there on the bottom. One company did break off something really cool, broke out something really cool for the GoPro Hero Session, and that is an extended battery. So you can actually open up the side of your Ion AIRPRO, your GoPro Hero Session, and there's an extended battery pack that actually connects on this, which also comes with a water housing system. But I have read reviews that some of the systems that people have bought for the extended battery, the battery did not give too much extra battery time, or the water housing ruined both the battery, the camera, etc. So I personally, if I'm gonna go swimming or use my camera underwater, I would just run the GoPro the way it is without that extended battery. But if I was out of the water, I think I do want to get that battery system just to give it a shot and see if I actually like it or not. Maybe I'll order it from a different type of company, or maybe just order it from like an Amazon, so I know the returning will not be an issue. Settings on these cameras, as I stated, I believe you can go you can go higher than the 720. I personally run the 720 HD for both cameras, and I get great quality. I like to run a lower quality, I won't go any lower than 720. 720 is what I mainly stick to, because when I do my video rendering, I also render under 720, which is perfect for YouTube. A lot of people go ape crazy over, oh, I need to get a 4K, but you really don't, in all honesty. Unless you're really doing some high-end vlogging or something like that, then I can understand. But for a action camera, the best route to go is under about a 720. You can go the 1080p, but it's really not a necessity. 720 settings gives you more juice in your batteries, from what I'm understanding. That's just from my opinion of how I've actually used my settings. I've run these cameras on 1820 and I've noticed the battery drains out a little bit faster. I don't know if it's because it's running it harder, but I run personally 720 and it gets me where I need to be. What else can we do here in comparison? Accessory wise, Ion actually has kind of jumped out of their action cameras and have landed into the whole Ion 360. However, I had a few issues with a warranty problem, and Ion actually contacted me and they stated that they will be jumping back into their action cameras and giving their action cameras more attention as they used to before. Ion personally almost dusted GoPro out of the water. Just because accessory wise, you can get accessories for the Ion, just about any type of accessories as you can for the GoPro for a cheaper amount of money. GoPro accessories are expensive, but the quality is great. So, you know, I really can't judge both ways because I run the same chesty off of both cameras, and I really don't have much accessories for the GoPro besides the chesty. That's the only thing I really need. I did notice some cool things with the GoPro Hero Session 4 is that you can order a water float device that is actually like a protective case, but I have heard rumors about that causing a lot of overheating within your camera. So the only time I would really use that is if I'm inside of the water. I do notice some overheating within the GoPro Hero Session 4, but not tremendously. The Ion AIRPRO Lite does also overheat a little bit, but not to a bad extent. But you got to remember, I live in Arizona, so I'm consistently under hot temperatures while I'm letting these cameras run for, you know, the max time. What else can we jump into? Let's talk about screens. Both cameras tend to look like you can actually interchange the screens. I have not seen any interchangeable screens for the Ion cameras, but I'm pretty sure that is how their warranty is. If you damage, you know, the screen or something like that, or the lens, they make it interchangeable and easier for them to interchange it without having to change out the camera. GoPro, I have not looked up to see if they have a changeable screen, but I have seen that there is actually a lens protector, kind of like what you put on your screens on your phones, so like the tempered glass screening. How that would work for me, I really don't feel comfortable sticking anything sticky on an action camera. Now we do it on our phones only because that tempered glass does not cover the camera section. If you look at your phone and you got tempered glass on there right now, you'll notice the tempered glass actually has a cutout around the camera area. They do not put it on the camera, and I don't know how I feel about putting anything sticky on my actual camera lens. So I think that's pretty much closing this out. Let me know what you guys think down below. Who wins, the GoPro Hero Session 4 or the Ion AIRPRO? Customer service, I have not been through customer service with GoPro, but I have been through customer service with the Ion AIRPRO Lite, and the customer service used to be great, and it's actually starting to pick back up. I did go through quite a bit of a hassle to get through the warranty issue here, but they contacted me, they made things right, so I cannot shoot Ion down anymore. You know, I have to say I do like Ion AIRPROs a lot, and I'm starting to adjust to the GoPro and starting to like the camera a lot. So that pretty much sums it up for these two cameras. As I stated, let me know what you guys think down below. Which camera would you go for? If you have both, which one do you like the most? And you know, it's definitely a close battle, you guys. Now, in my opinion, what do I think is the best? It's hard for me to judge right now because I have not used the GoPro Hero Session 4 longer than, I'm wanting to say, probably a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. The Ion AIRPRO I've used for approximately, I have 2 cameras. I've been through 3 cameras already, and I've been using this company for approximately 2 to 3 years. So Ion's been good to me. We will see how GoPro is, so I really can't judge this, but that's one reason I dropped this video, is for you guys to make the decision, or if you're in the market for an action camera and you don't want to go Sony or any like the Vivid or any other type of companies, this is your battle right here, you guys. Between these two cameras. Now I am gonna state this: if you decide to go Ion AIRPRO, go Ion AIRPRO Lite 3, or it's not even the Lite, Ion AIRPRO 3. Do not get the Ion AIRPRO Lite, just for the simple fact that it will eventually strip out on you and you will be stuck with a camera that you will not be able to mount to anything. So that's one thing for sure, is definitely go the upgraded version of the Ion AIRPRO. That is also one reason they actually upgraded that camera. So let me know what you guys think. I think that sums it up. I think I've spoken enough. Pros and cons. GoPro versus Ion. Let me know what you guys think down below. Please smash that thumbs up button, share this video, share with your friends, do what you guys do best, and I will see you on the next video. I am up and out. Peace.